Imagine a world where housing is no longer a crisis, where homes are not just a dream but a reality for everyone. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's happening right now, and it's powered by innovation, vision, and a willingness to embrace the impossible. Today, I want to talk to you about Ixone, a company that is redefining what's possible in housing using technology that was once reserved for exploring the stars. NASA has spent decades pushing the boundaries of what humans can achieve in space, developing materials, robotics, and 3D printing techniques to survive in environments that seem completely inhospitable. What if I told you that this very technology is now being applied to solve one of the most pressing problems on Earth, the lack of affordable, safe, and sustainable housing? Ixone has taken these lessons from the cosmos and brought them down to Earth, literally. Through advanced 3D printing, Ixone can build entire homes with incredible speed, precision, and cost efficiency. We're talking about structures that are strong, resilient, and designed to withstand the challenges of today's world, from natural disasters to rapid population growth. Imagine neighborhoods being constructed in days instead of months, with homes that are not only affordable but built to last for generations. But it's not just about technology, it's about mindset. It's about daring to imagine a world where housing is a right, not a privilege. It's about challenging the status quo, asking the hard questions, and refusing to accept what's impossible as an answer. Ixone is showing us that when we leverage innovation, we can create solutions that are bigger than any obstacle. This is more than a story about houses, it's a story about human potential, about our ability to take ideas that once seemed futuristic and turn them into practical solutions for real people. It's about courage, creativity, and commitment to change, and it proves that when we combine technology, vision, and relentless action, we can not only dream of a better world, we can build it. NASA-inspired technology is revolutionizing affordable housing, and it's not just a headline, it's a movement. For decades, NASA has been at the forefront of innovation, pushing the boundaries of what humanity can achieve. Every material they develop, every robot they engineer, every process they refine is designed for extreme conditions where failure is not an option. Space is the ultimate challenge, a place where traditional methods don't work and ingenuity becomes the only path forward. But here's the fascinating part: the lessons learned in space are not locked away in government labs or confined to astronauts and scientists. They are being applied right here on Earth in ways that could change the lives of millions. Ixone is taking these lessons and turning them into homes that are faster to build, stronger, more sustainable, and accessible to people who previously thought owning a safe and reliable house was out of reach. When we talk about affordable housing, we often focus on numbers, the cost of materials, the time it takes to construct, the labor required. But what if I told you that these numbers can be dramatically altered using technology originally intended for life on Mars? NASA has spent decades developing high-strength, lightweight materials that can withstand extreme pressures, temperatures, and stresses. They've mastered robotics that can operate with precision in environments humans can't safely enter. They've honed 3D printing techniques to build complex structures layer by layer without human error. These innovations, once seen as futuristic and impractical for everyday use, are now being applied to the most fundamental human need: shelter. By leveraging these advancements, Ixone is making it possible to construct homes that are resilient, durable, and incredibly cost-efficient. Homes that don't just exist but thrive in the conditions of our world, whether it's a hurricane-prone region, an area affected by flooding, or a community where resources are scarce. The power of NASA-inspired technology lies not only in speed and cost, but in its ability to rethink the entire concept of construction. Traditional building methods have limitations. They require long timelines, large teams, and heavy materials that are expensive to source and transport. With 3D printing, a single printer can produce the structural shell of an entire home in a fraction of the time, reducing labor costs and waste. The precision of robotics ensures consistency, strength, and quality that human hands alone may struggle to achieve. And the materials designed to withstand space missions provide durability that far exceeds conventional construction. Imagine homes that are stronger, more sustainable, and tailored to the specific needs of their inhabitants. It's not science fiction, it's happening now, and it's transforming communities. Beyond the technical marvels, there's a deeper impact: hope. Affordable housing is not just about providing a roof over someone's head, it's about dignity, stability, and opportunity. Families that have been living in unsafe conditions for years suddenly have a chance to thrive. Children gain a stable environment for learning. Communities gain resilience against natural disasters. And economies benefit when citizens have secure housing, freeing up resources for education, health, and growth. NASA-inspired technology in this context becomes more than a tool. It becomes a catalyst for social change. It allows us to imagine a world where housing is no longer a barrier to success, where scarcity is replaced by abundance, where innovation directly improves lives on a scale we've never seen before. This transformation requires more than machinery and materials. It requires vision. It requires the courage to take ideas that were once the domain of astronauts and engineers and bring them into neighborhoods, towns, and cities that have been overlooked by traditional construction industries. It requires the mindset to see limitations not as obstacles, but as challenges to overcome. Ixone exemplifies this mindset, showing that by embracing advanced technology, we can confront complex problems like housing shortages with creative, actionable solutions. The blend of space-age technology with human-centered design is a powerful reminder that innovation doesn't exist in isolation. It is meant to be applied to solve real problems, to elevate the human experience. Every home that ICOM builds using these techniques is a demonstration of what is possible when we refuse to accept the status quo. It's proved that problems we once thought were insurmountable, high costs, slow timelines, unsafe structures can be overcome when we adopt the right tools and the right mindset. By bringing NASA-inspired technology to affordable housing, ISO is creating more than buildings, it is creating a blueprint for the future. It shows that with innovation, courage, and relentless action, we can solve even the most entrenched societal challenges. Each home is a symbol of progress, each community strengthened by technology that was once designed for space, and each step forward a testament to human ingenuity and the potential to transform our world when we dare to think differently. 3D printing is not just a technology, it's a revolution that is transforming the way we build homes, and when we think about it, the implications are staggering. Traditionally, construction has been slow, labor-intensive, and costly. Projects can stretch for months or even years, budgets often spiral out of control, and quality can vary from one home to the next. For millions of people around the world, this means waiting for basic shelter or paying far more than they can afford for a home that may not even last. But 3D printing changes everything. It allows us to rethink construction from the ground up, literally layer by layer, creating homes that are faster to build, cheaper to produce, and stronger than anything built with conventional methods. The very act of printing a house embodies innovation. It's a tangible demonstration that technology, when applied correctly, can solve one of the most pressing challenges of our time. The speed at which 3D printing can construct homes is staggering. Where a traditional home might take months to complete, a 3D printer can produce the structural shell in days, sometimes even hours for smaller units. This is possible because the printer operates continuously without fatigue, without errors caused by human limitations, and with a precision that ensures every layer is perfectly aligned. It's like watching a symphony of technology and engineering unfold, where every movement is deliberate, efficient, and perfectly executed. This acceleration of the building process has enormous consequences, not just for the cost of construction, but for the lives of people waiting for homes. Communities can be transformed almost overnight. Families who have been living in unsafe or temporary conditions suddenly find themselves with sturdy, permanent shelter. Neighborhoods that have been struggling with inadequate housing can be revitalized with speed and efficiency that was previously unimaginable. Cost efficiency is another critical advantage of 3D printing. Traditional construction involves high labor costs, expensive materials, and considerable waste. Every brick laid, every beam installed requires human effort and time, and errors can lead to even higher expenses. 3D printing, on the other hand, uses materials efficiently, reduces the need for large construction crews, and eliminates much of the waste associated with traditional methods. Specialized printing materials, some derived from concrete innovations inspired by space technology, allow for structures that are not only economical but also remarkably durable. Imagine a home that costs a fraction of what a conventional build would require, yet provides the same or even greater strength, safety, and longevity. This is not a future vision, it is happening right now, proving that affordability and quality do not have to be mutually exclusive. Strength and durability are perhaps the most remarkable aspects of 3D printed homes. Using advanced materials and precision layering techniques, these homes can withstand extreme conditions that might compromise conventional structures. From storms to floods, from heat to cold, 3D printed homes are engineered to endure. The precision of robotics ensures uniform density and structural integrity, reducing weak points and enhancing overall resilience. This is particularly significant in areas prone to natural disasters, where conventional construction often struggles to meet safety standards or costs become prohibitive. The combination of technology and material science allows for homes that are not only rapid to build and affordable, but also strong enough to protect the people inside them, creating not just houses but havens. The impact of 3D printing goes beyond individual homes. It reshapes communities, economies, and mindsets. When homes can be built quickly, entire neighborhoods can emerge in a fraction of the time previously required, creating immediate opportunities for education, work, and social development. The efficiency of 3D printing also opens doors for more sustainable practices, reduced material waste, lower energy consumption, and the ability to integrate eco-friendly materials that are compatible with the technology. This is a new era where the principles of innovation, efficiency, and responsibility converge, proving that solving complex problems doesn't require compromise, it requires creativity and bold action. Beyond the technical and financial advantages, 3D printing represents a mindset shift. It embodies the belief that we don't have to accept limitations imposed by tradition or scarcity. It's a statement that challenges the notion of what is possible, demonstrating that even the most entrenched challenges, like the global housing crisis, can be approached differently. This technology empowers innovators to reimagine urban planning, community development, and the very meaning of home. It's not just about faster, cheaper, or stronger structures, it's about redefining what a home can be, how quickly it can be delivered, and who has access to it. Each printed home is a symbol of progress, a testament to human ingenuity, and a tangible reminder that when we dare to rethink the tools we use and the way we approach problems, we can create solutions that are not only efficient but transformative. 3D printing in housing is a fusion of technology, vision, and action. It demonstrates how leveraging advanced tools can overcome barriers that once seemed insurmountable. By building homes faster, cheaper, and stronger, we are doing more than constructing walls and roofs. We are building opportunity, stability, and hope for communities that need it most. This is a technology that empowers us to take bold steps to confront challenges with precision and to create real, lasting impact on the lives of millions around the world. It is a revolution that proves the future of housing is not just in our hands, it is being printed before our eyes. ICON transforms the impossible into practical, real-world solutions, and this is where vision meets action in the most powerful way. So often in life and in business, we are taught to accept limits, to work within the boundaries that society, history, or circumstances set for us. We are told that certain problems are too big, too complex, or too expensive to solve. But ICO challenges that notion every single day. They see the impossible not as an endpoint, but as a starting point, a challenge to be dissected, understood, and ultimately overcome. The concept of building affordable, durable, and sustainable housing has seemed unreachable for decades. Cost constraints, material limitations, labor shortages, and logistical challenges have all combined to create a landscape where millions of people are left without access to safe housing. Yet ICON refuses to accept this as the final answer. They take the technology, ingenuity, and lessons learned from extraordinary fields like space exploration, and apply them to the most basic human need: shelter. Turning impossible ideas into practical solutions begins with mindset. ICON approaches each challenge with curiosity and determination, understanding that limitations are often self-imposed. What others see as obstacles, they see as opportunities for innovation. When faced with the global housing crisis, they didn't start by asking, is it possible? Instead, they asked, how can we make it possible? This fundamental shift in perspective is critical. Solutions rarely come from conventional thinking. They emerge when boldness meets intelligence, when creativity is combined with discipline, and when the focus is on results rather than excuses. ICO's work is a testament to the power of mindset in action, proof that a single organization can redefine what is achievable when the impossible is treated as a challenge rather than a limitation. One of the most striking examples of this transformation is ICON's use of 3D printing in construction. To the untrained eye, the idea of printing an entire home might sound like science fiction, but ICON has taken it and made it real. By combining robotics, advanced materials, and precise digital design, they have turned a futuristic concept into a tangible solution that can be implemented in communities around the world. This is the essence of transforming the impossible, taking abstract, ambitious ideas and converting them into concrete, usable outcomes. What's more, these solutions are not just functional, they are superior to traditional alternatives in speed, efficiency, and sustainability. Homes that once took months to construct can now be printed in days, with lower costs and higher durability. This isn't just innovation for the sake of novelty, it's practical, life-changing technology applied to the problems that matter most. Practicality is a core principle in ICO's approach. The company doesn't focus on flashy experiments or theoretical concepts. They focus on solutions that directly impact people's lives. Each home is designed to meet real-world needs: resilience against natural disasters, cost efficiency for low-income families, and adaptability for diverse climates and geographies. This balance between vision and practicality is rare. Too often, organizations with great ideas get lost in possibilities that cannot scale or sustain themselves in the real world. ICON avoids this trap by staying grounded in measurable outcomes. They continually ask, will this work in a real neighborhood? Can it be produced affordably at scale? Will it stand the test of time? By answering these questions rigorously, they ensure that their innovations are not just impressive, they are transformative. ICO also demonstrates that transforming the impossible requires collaboration and interdisciplinary thinking. Solutions are rarely the product of a single field or perspective. By borrowing techniques from aerospace engineering, material science, robotics, and digital design, ICO has created a synergy that allows for breakthroughs no single discipline could achieve alone. This is a lesson for anyone striving to solve large-scale problems. Complexity requires integration, not isolation. By assembling diverse expertise and fostering creative problem-solving, ICON has built a framework that turns ambitious goals into practical reality. Beyond technology and materials, ICON is reshaping the narrative around possibility. When people see a home being printed in a matter of days, or a structure built for a fraction of traditional costs, it challenges the collective imagination of what can be done. Communities begin to believe in solutions that were previously unimaginable. Governments, philanthropists, and local organizations start to envision policies and initiatives that align with this new reality. Transforming the impossible into practical solutions is not just about the immediate outcomes, it's about changing mindsets, inspiring action, and creating ripple effects that extend far beyond the homes themselves. The work of ICO proves that innovation is not a luxury reserved for laboratories or elite institutions. It is a tool to solve humanity's most pressing challenges. They are not just building houses, they are building confidence in the power of human ingenuity, demonstrating that even the most complex, Seemingly unsolvable problems can be tackled with vision, courage, and relentless action. Each home is more than a structure, it is a symbol of possibility. A beacon showing that when we commit to turning ideas into actionable solutions, nothing is truly impossible, and every challenge is an opportunity waiting to be realized. Innovation meets human need. And nowhere is this more critical than in housing. For decades, humanity has faced the challenge of providing safe, affordable, and sustainable homes to a growing global population. Millions of people live in inadequate conditions, and the traditional construction industry has struggled to keep up. The methods we relied on for centuries, bricks, mortar, and labor-intensive techniques, simply cannot scale fast enough or cost effectively enough to meet the needs of today. But innovation, when paired with purpose, changes everything. Ixion exemplifies this principle by taking cutting-edge technologies and focusing them on the most fundamental human requirement: a place to live, a space to grow, a shelter that provides security, stability, and dignity. What makes this work so remarkable is that it doesn't just advance technology, it directly serves people. It turns innovation into something tangible, something that touches lives in profound ways. Sustainable homes are at the heart of this vision. In the past, affordable housing often meant compromise: cheap materials, low durability, minimal energy efficiency. People had to choose between cost and quality, or between speed and sustainability. Ixion disrupts this paradigm by integrating advanced construction technologies, many inspired by space exploration, with sustainable practices that prioritize the long-term well-being of both residents and the planet. The homes they create are not temporary fixes, they are durable structures engineered to endure harsh climates, natural disasters, and the wear and tear of everyday life. By combining resilience with eco-friendly materials, energy-efficient design, and advanced building methods, Ixion creates homes that are not only practical but responsible, ensuring that progress today does not come at the expense of the future. This is innovation that scales. One of the biggest barriers to solving the housing crisis is speed. Traditional construction simply cannot keep pace with the growing need. Ixion's use of 3D printing and automated building techniques allows homes to be built faster and more efficiently than ever before. Entire structures can emerge in days rather than months without sacrificing strength, design, or speed matters, because every day a family waits for a home is a day they face uncertainty, instability, and risk. When innovation meets human need in this way, technology is no longer abstract, it becomes a lifeline. Communities that once struggled to meet basic shelter requirements suddenly have access to quality homes that are built with precision, safety, and care, empowering them to focus on education, employment, and growth instead of survival. The beauty of Ixion's approach is that it considers people, not just structures. Sustainable homes are designed to meet the real needs of their inhabitants. They are spaces that protect families from harm, that create comfort and stability, and that foster a sense of pride and dignity. Innovation in construction becomes more than a technical achievement. It becomes a tool to elevate human potential. Families living in these homes are able to invest in their futures, knowing that their shelter is reliable, resilient, and built with intention. This alignment of technology with human need is what makes Ixion's work extraordinary. It demonstrates that when we focus on people first, innovation finds its highest purpose. There is also a profound environmental impact. Traditional construction methods consume enormous amounts of resources and generate significant waste. Ixion's techniques are designed to minimize these costs, using materials efficiently and reducing excess. Homes are printed with precision, layer by layer, cutting down on overuse and pollution, and often incorporating recycled or low-impact materials. Energy-efficient design is incorporated from the start, ensuring that the homes are sustainable not only in construction but in daily use. This holistic approach shows that innovation does not have to come at the expense of the planet. It is a model for how human progress and environmental stewardship can coexist, demonstrating that meeting human need and protecting the earth are not competing goals, they are complementary imperatives. The ripple effects of this work are remarkable. By providing sustainable homes quickly and affordably, communities gain stability, children gain safe spaces to learn and grow, and local economies thrive. Neighborhoods become more resilient to disasters, families spend less time and energy worrying about shelter, and governments and organizations are empowered to invest resources in other critical areas like healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Innovation meets human need not as a concept but as a force multiplier, accelerating social progress in ways that few other interventions can achieve. Ultimately, Ixion's work exemplifies a principle that applies far beyond construction. True innovation is never for its own sake. Its power is realized only when it is applied to improve lives, to meet pressing needs, and to solve real problems in a tangible way. In housing, this means designing homes that are not just shelters, but foundations for opportunity, resilience, and hope. By marrying cutting-edge technology with human-centered design, Ixion demonstrates that innovation can be profoundly practical, deeply impactful, and accessible to everyone. Each sustainable home they create is a reminder that progress is not defined by the latest gadget or theoretical breakthrough. It is measured by the lives it touches, the communities it strengthens, and the barriers it removes. Challenging the status quo drives breakthroughs in housing, and this principle is at the heart of every major innovation that changes the world. For decades, the housing industry operated under the assumption that certain problems were unsolvable. Costs were too high, timelines were too long, materials were limited, and labor was expensive. People accepted these constraints as facts of life, believing that safe, affordable, and sustainable housing could only ever be available to a few or would take generations to reach those in need. But the reality is that breakthroughs never come from acceptance. They come from questioning, from pushing boundaries, and from refusing to settle for the limitations imposed by conventional thinking. ICO embodies this mindset, taking the problems that seem intractable and turning them into opportunities for transformation, showing us that the first step toward progress is the courage to challenge what's always been done. When organizations are willing to challenge the status quo, they open the door to entirely new ways of thinking and acting. In housing, this means reimagining construction from the ground up. ICON asked questions that most people never consider. Why should building a home take months or years? Why must materials be expensive or wasteful? Why should affordability come at the expense of strength or sustainability? By questioning these assumptions, ICO uncovered solutions that were not only efficient but revolutionary. 3D printing, robotics, and advanced material science, all inspired by technology developed for space exploration, became tools to disrupt an industry that had long resisted change. This is the power of challenging the status quo. It reveals possibilities where none seem to exist and transforms obstacles into pathways for innovation. Breaking free from traditional constraints requires vision and courage. It requires leaders and teams willing to take risks, to experiment, and to fail forward. ICON exemplifies this courage, demonstrating that real breakthroughs are not the result of cautious incrementalism but of bold action. By adopting approaches that most people considered impossible, they were able to accelerate construction, reduce costs, and increase durability in ways that fundamentally redefine what housing can be. This is a lesson for anyone facing systemic problems. True progress is rarely achieved by following the rules or sticking to familiar methods. It is achieved by imagining a new future and committing to make it real, even when others say it cannot be done. Challenging the status quo also requires a willingness to integrate diverse disciplines. ICON's breakthroughs are not the product of traditional construction knowledge alone. They come from merging ideas and technology from aerospace, robotics, materials engineering, and digital design. By looking beyond conventional boundaries, ICON discovered solutions that no single field could provide. This interdisciplinary approach is a hallmark of innovation. It demonstrates that by questioning long-held assumptions and drawing from a wide range of expertise, we can develop solutions that are practical, scalable, and transformative. Each breakthrough in housing technology represents the outcome of daring to think differently, collaborating across disciplines, and refusing to accept the way things have always been as the only path forward. The societal impact of challenging the status quo cannot be overstated. Millions of people around the world face housing insecurity, living in unsafe or overcrowded conditions. Traditional methods have been unable to meet the scale of this need, leaving communities vulnerable and families without stability. By challenging conventional construction norms, ICON is providing a new model, homes that can be built quickly, efficiently, and sustainably for those who need them most. This approach is not only about solving a technical problem, it is about creating social change. It empowers communities, strengthens families, and demonstrates that innovation applied with purpose can directly improve human lives on a massive scale. Furthermore, challenging the status quo inspires others to do the same. When one organization demonstrates that a long-standing problem can be solved differently, it sparks imagination, encourages experimentation, and shifts collective expectations. It shows that limitations are not fixed, but are often the product of mindset, tradition, or fear of change. ICON's work challenges not only the housing industry, but also our broader perception of what is possible. It reminds us that breakthroughs occur when we refuse to accept constraints, when we dare to envision a better way, and when we have the courage to act on that vision. Ultimately, breakthroughs in housing are born from relentless questioning and bold action. ICO proves that innovation is not just about technology, it's about mindset, courage, and the refusal to accept that a problem is unsolvable. By challenging the status quo, they have unlocked solutions that transform homes, neighborhoods, and lives. Every 3D printed wall, every sustainable structure, every community uplifted through faster, more efficient construction is proof that progress is possible when we refuse to follow the old rules. It demonstrates that real breakthroughs occur not when we comply with expectations, but when we disrupt them, reimagine them, and rebuild them into something greater, something stronger, and something that truly meets human needs. Vision, technology, and action together can end the housing crisis, and this combination is what separates dreamers from those who change the world. Too often, people see problems as immovable, believing that scarcity, cost, and logistics make affordable housing an unsolvable challenge. The truth is that solutions exist, but they require more than incremental thinking. They require a unified approach that combines imagination, innovation, and relentless execution. ICO demonstrates this principle every day, showing that when vision is aligned with the right technology and coupled with decisive action, even the largest societal challenges can be tackled. The housing crisis, long viewed as a persistent global problem, is no longer something we must accept as inevitable. Instead, it is an opportunity to prove what is possible when human ingenuity is focused on solving real-world problems with courage, intelligence, and persistence. Vision is the starting point. Without a clear picture of what success looks like, no amount of technology or effort can produce meaningful change. ICO began with a bold vision, a world where everyone has access to safe, affordable, and sustainable homes. This vision is ambitious, but it is grounded in a deep understanding of human need and potential. It recognizes that housing is more than bricks and mortar. It is stability, opportunity, and dignity. It is the foundation upon which communities thrive, economies grow, and futures are built. By defining this vision clearly and passionately, IKEO provides direction and purpose, not only for their team, but for everyone who witnesses the impact of their work. Vision acts as a compass, guiding innovation and ensuring that every step, every decision, and every technological advancement contributes directly to solving the housing problem. Technology is the enabler. The breakthroughs required to make this vision a reality do not come from wishful thinking alone. They come from harnessing the tools and innovations that allow us to act faster, more efficiently, and more effectively than ever before. ISO leverages cutting-edge technology, including 3D printing, robotics, and advanced materials inspired by space exploration to construct homes that are affordable, durable, and sustainable. This is not theoretical or experimental technology. It is practical, tested, and applied in real-world environments to create tangible results. Technology amplifies the power of vision, translating abstract ideas into structures that can be seen, touched, and inhabited. It allows homes to be built at a scale, speed, and quality that traditional methods could never achieve, proving that innovation is not just a concept, it is a practical solution that changes lives. Action is the force that transforms vision and technology into impact. Without action, even the most brilliant ideas remain unfulfilled. IKEO exemplifies relentless execution, taking the tools at their disposal and applying them where they matter most. It is one thing to imagine a world where everyone has a home. It is another to print walls, pour foundations, and design communities that bring that vision to life. Action means turning obstacles into opportunities, overcoming logistical challenges, and committing to consistency, speed, and quality. ICN does not wait for perfect conditions or ideal circumstances. They act decisively, solving problems on the ground, in real communities, and for real people. This combination of courage, skill, and persistence demonstrates that action is the bridge between what could be and what is. When vision, technology, and action are aligned, the results are extraordinary. ICN has shown that the housing crisis is not insurmountable, it is solvable. By integrating a clear purpose, advanced tools, and bold execution, entire neighborhoods can emerge faster, more sustainably, and more affordably than previously thought possible. Families who have been waiting for secure housing can finally move into homes that provide stability and hope. Communities gain resilience and opportunity. Economies benefit from the accelerated development, and governments can redirect resources toward other critical areas of social need. Each home built becomes a testament to what is possible when innovation is guided by purpose and propelled by action. Moreover, this approach has a ripple effect. When one organization demonstrates that complex challenges can be solved with vision, technology, and action, it inspires others to do the same. It changes expectations, shifts mindsets, and encourages collaboration across industries, governments, and communities. The housing crisis, once seen as an intractable problem, begins to appear solvable. The lessons are clear. Progress requires imagination, innovation, and execution working together, and the impact of aligning these forces extends far beyond individual projects to influence policy, culture, and collective ambition. The combination of vision, technology, and action also highlights a broader principle about human potential. The challenges we face, whether housing, climate change, or global inequality, are immense, but they are not permanent barriers. They are invitations for ingenuity, courage, and creative problem-solving. IKEO's work proves that solutions exist when we dare to dream boldly, embrace advanced tools, and commit to turning ideas into reality. Every printed wall, every completed home, every community transformed is evidence that even systemic problems can be solved when we unite our imagination with practical tools and relentless effort. Ultimately, the story of ending the housing crisis is not just about construction, it is about demonstrating what is possible when we refuse to accept limitations. Vision gives us direction, technology gives us power, and action ensures results. IKEO exemplifies the perfect alignment of these three forces, showing that the seemingly impossible becomes achievable when we combine foresight, innovation, and relentless execution. It is a reminder that global challenges are solvable, communities are improvable, and lives are transformable when we harness the tools and the mindset required to act decisively on what we imagine.